Good evening, my dear parishioners and my dear friends. I'm coming to you live this evening because earlier this afternoon we were informed of the demise of Father Theo Jacob. Father Theo Jacob, as some of you might know, was the former parish priest or the priest in charge here at St. Jude Church in Malad East. He served this parish with great dedication, with great love for many years. I was introduced to Father Theo Jacob when I came to this parish because people kept testifying to the simple, kind man that he was. Father Theo Jacob may not have had great administrative skills, but he had a great heart, a great love for the poor. He would talk to people in the language that they understood, in local languages, in Hindi, in Konkani, in Marathi, in Tamil. And he really endeared himself to the people with his very simple way of life. I was told that he lived an extremely frugal life. When he left this parish, he left with just a simple bag. That was the kind of man he was. But the reason why I also want to pay tribute to Father Theo Jacob is because several years ago, it was he who had that vision, that great desire and the dream to build a structure here, a proper church in St. Jude, dedicated to St. Jude in Malad East. In those days, Father Theo Jacob, who had no means of transport, along with a band of dedicated parishioners, would wake up as early as 3 in the morning on a Sunday and travel to far-flung parishes in the Archdiocese of Bombay collecting money for this project. That project, however, never really took off. But Father Theo Jacob, to my mind, collected what I would call a princely sum, and that money helped us in a very large measure to take off the project that he had undertaken. Father Theo Jacob was a man who really endeared himself to his people. I remember when I came to this parish, people told me such wonderful stories about him that I felt very compelled on Vianney Sunday several years ago to invite him to the parish. He seemed to be very nervous. He didn't want to come because of his health, but I told him, don't worry. I said, Father, just come, you sit down and join us during the Eucharist. After Mass, I invited Father Theo Jacob, as I normally do, to greet the parishioners. But because of his age, I simply had a chair kept in front of the sanctuary, and I asked him to sit as I invited our parishioners to come and say hello to him. I must tell you how truly surprised I was. In fact, I was stunned and I had tears in my eyes because that line never ended. Family after family came and since he was sitting, knelt down in front of him, held his hand and recounted story after story of acts of tremendous kindness. And here's what moved me the most. They would tell Father Theo Jacob all the lovely things that he had done for them, how he had helped them in their poverty, in their struggle, in their emotional upheavals. And he looked at them and to each one and genuinely said, I don't remember. He didn't remember, not because of his age, but I do believe he didn't remember because he had done all these wonderful things from his heart. Was Father Theo Jacob a perfect priest? I doubt not. None of us are perfect. But he strived towards that perfection. He strived towards being a good and a loyal servant of Jesus Christ. When we inaugurated this new church, when His Eminence Cardinal Oswald Gracious on the 28th of April 2 years ago inaugurated this church, we as a parish decided at that point of time to honor Father Theo Jacob, and the community hall on the 3rd floor was named after him. We were so privileged on that occasion, frail as he was, that he joined us on that day, he himself having celebrated his birthday a few days prior to that, which literally, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he would have celebrated his birthday on the 27th, one day before we inaugurated the church. And we will truly miss him. He has gone home to his God, whom he loved and whom he served. For the parishioners of St. Jude Malad East, I have sent you a message requesting you all this evening to dedicate your rosary in memory of this good, loyal, and faithful servant who has gone back to his loving Father and to his eternal reward. May God grant our dear Father Theo Jacob eternal rest. Thank you.